everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm April from April's Lane here on the YouTubes. Thank you so much for clicking that play button today. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe down below. It's the red subscribe button. It's free for you, and I love it so much. It literally makes my day. Now that that's out of the way, today is very special to me. I'm very excited because it is my first ever baseball game. Yep, you heard it right. I am in my 30s and I've never once been to a baseball game. No one has ever taken me to the baseball game. So I'm very excited to experience my first ever baseball game. My husband's work is throwing a company function there. They're providing us dinner and tickets to the game. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very excited to go. And I'm going to document my whole day, which I'm so excited about. And yeah, so I'm very excited. It is in a huge city in Pennsylvania called Pittsburgh. We are going to the Pittsburgh Pirates game. So I'm a little bit nervous about the drive because I heard that driving in Pittsburgh is not fun. It's very chaotic. So I'm a little bit nervous about the drive, but I'm super excited to get there and explore because it's on the riverfront and there's like tons of little parks behind there to explore. And the arena, I guess, the stadium is absolutely breathtaking and gorgeous. And then it's a night game, so I will be able to see the city at night, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, let's go get ready. So I just dropped my camera and I think I broke it. Anyhow, let me show you my outfit. Can you see it here? So here is in my pajamas. Well, as you can see from the last clip, I wanted to show you what I was wearing to my first ever baseball game. I dropped my camera and I didn't think that it worked anymore because it fell so far, but I'm using it now, so I got it to work. I went through I bought two other cameras. One I returned. The other one I have, but it won't import the videos to my computer. So I just have it sitting here somewhere. Anyhow, that's gonna be the next videos. Anyhow, so the baseball game was everything I wanted and needed it to be. It was the greatest first experience I've ever had. So the drive down was okay until you hit the city, and then there's like exits in every direction. There's roads above you, there's roads beside you, on every side there's multiple lanes. I mean, it's pure chaos. So that was a little bit scary and overwhelming. Also, there was a lot of construction in the city, so the GPS was telling me to go down a road to the left and it was closed because of construction. So I had to like just keep going forward, and then eventually I just turned the GPS off and I'm like, I'll just find it myself because it's this giant stadium out. I can see it, so I just followed the giant stadium. So so the drive-in was fine until you got to the city, and then it was chaos. Then when we got there a few hours before our baseball picnic. So we were able to explore, because it's right on the river there where 3 rivers come into one, in Pittsburgh. And so we started down to the river and we went left first, and that took us into homeless territory. We actually saw a man bathing in the creek, homeless. He did have a case of beer though, but he was definitely homeless. And that kind of, like, you know that there's homeless, like, you're not, you know, blind to that, but I never seen it up close and personal. So that was definitely a culture shock to see it, like, so personally. And then there's like the trail on the river is tons of bikers and joggers, and they were like jogging past these homeless and riding their bikes past this homeless like they were just trees there growing. It was just so normal for them, and they didn't even give like a second glance or holy shit, like that guy is bathing in the creek. So that was like, wow, like this is their actually, like, this is normal. So that was mind-blowing. So then we turned around and we went right of the stadium, and that was like all the monuments and statues and things to get your picture taken with, and big baseballs and ginormous yachts. Lots of yachts and boats and music playing and people laughing and cooking out, and it was like a totally different world just a few feet from each other. Like, Anthony and I looked at each other at one point like, whoa, like we're not in our small town anymore, because I'm like, if you go left, it's like these people have nothing. They are living on tarps and cardboard and bathing in the creek and that, and then you walk a few hundred feet and it's just like rich with like yachts and cooking out and laughter and play and dogs, and it was very mind-blowing. It was a culture shock for sure. And so that we got to see like a big boat that has like the wheels on the back, propellers. Well, they're not propellers, they're like, I forget what they're called, but we saw a 5-story one of those pull out, and jet skis and all kinds of things. So it was very fun to see that. Well, not fun, it was just very mind-blowing to see that, all of that. So then we started back towards the stadium, and we found some bathrooms, used the bathrooms, and then we went up to our car and got in the AC because it was so freaking hot, like so hot. We had a few minutes, or like 40 minutes before the picnic, so the Anthony's company picnic. So we got in our car, we cooled down. I brought water and snacks with us. We had some snacks and water and just talked about what we, saw, and our thoughts on that. And then we got out of the car, went back down to the stadium, and we had we waited in line for a long time, and then we got into the gates. We went down to this one section by the river with tables, and we had our picnic, and it was very nice. And then Anthony and I went up to the very, very top of the stadium and took pictures with the big city in the background and the big bridges, and that was gorgeous. And then we went down to found our seats and we watched the game, and it was so fun, and the energy in there was so electrifying, and you chanted and you sang and you clapped, and the Pirates lost that game, but it was, and then they shoot these cannons with t-shirts in them, and some of the guys will throw their balls up into the stand, and it was just so electrifying with like positive funness, and it was so good. And we got like the big giant hot dog with pierogies on it, and we got the big giant cup of fries and the souvenir cups, and it was just so fun. It was such a good time, and I really enjoyed that. And then then there's fireworks. So the fireworks after the game was literally the longest fireworks show I've ever sat through, the biggest and the most gorgeous. I literally caught myself with my mouth down. Like, I was it was so good. The fireworks were so good. So that just topped it all off. So then we got out of the stadium, and then all the homeless, like when you got there, you didn't see any homeless, only if you went down onto the river, like the one walk place. But then when you came out of the game, there was homeless everywhere with cardboard signs that says like, help me, any donation would be appreciated. There was this one that you could tell that she was, she had succumbed to her addiction, and it was very sad. And then there was one man, and he had a dog, and the dog was laying on cardboard, and that was like horrible. And it was really just sad to see that we have homeless. So then we went to our car and we left, and we had to wait in traffic a little bit, but it wasn't like too long, but it was a little bit of a wait to get out of traffic. And then we had to get through the city, and that was chaotic because there's just so many exits and turns, quick turns that you have to make. And but once we got on like outside the city, the rest of the way home was super easy and fun and great. And the moon was like ginormous that night on the way home, so that was nice. But yeah, it was a very good experience, and I'm very happy that I got to experience it. But yes, that was I dropped my camera and I couldn't record anything, which made me really upset. But you'll have that, and yeah. So this is the part of the vlog where I'm gonna give you some tips on going to a baseball game in the city, or a big city. And yeah, so tip number 1 is you want to leave early because there's construction, there's so many turns that you might miss, and so leaving early is the first one. Number 2 is wear tennis shoes. Wear a comfortable shoe because there's a lot of walking, a lot of stairs. So wear comfortable shoes and comfortable clothes as well. Number 3 is get a parking garage. There was lots of parking lots, but I highly recommend that you get a parking garage right by or as close to the stadium as possible. Because it was only $20 to park. Some of those parking lots were like $35. And 2, you're in a closed building with cameras, so if anything happens, it will be on camera. 3, the parking garage offers public restrooms where okay, so my battery died, so I don't know where I was, but before the stadium opens its gates, it's very hard to find a bathroom. They have porta potties, but those are disgusting. And if you go to a restaurant, you have to either order something or sit down to use their restroom. So there's no, like, none of the restaurants open their restrooms to the public. So getting a parking garage offers a public bathroom for you to go and use. So there's a bathroom, cameras, and it's not expensive. So I highly recommend getting the parking garage. Number 4, I highly recommend that you get a prepaid debit card or use a credit card that you have. Don't use your personal banking debit card. For number 1, that's easy to steal all your information. And number 2, if you have a prepaid or a credit card, it's easier to dispute the charges and get your money back if, your card's compromised. Take light cash. Parking garage didn't take cash. The stadium didn't take cash. But take maybe $30 in cash. Because when we were walking the streets, there was like vendors for water or merchandise or whatever that took cash. So take just a little bit of cash, but not a lot, and take your credit card. That's another thing. That's another tip. Wear your tennis shoes. I said that already. And just enjoy the atmosphere. Just take it all in. Go around to everything. Try to see everything. Try to really immerse yourself in the experience because it's well worth it. So there's my tips. I'm going to your first ever baseball game. And it was a very, very nice experience, and I really enjoyed it.